Alright, so we all remember that scene from Shrek where they talk about the layers of self. So today we're going to be talking about the layers of self and self-disclosure. So self-disclosure is when we share deeply personal thoughts, feelings, and emotions to our friends or family. And I'm gonna specifically be talking about the interpersonal process model of intimacy. And so relationships are intimate when both partners share private information about themselves to others, and they support each other and they care about each other. And there are 4 parts of this model. So the first part is that you can't have intimacy in a relationship without disclosure and supportiveness. Second part is that if listeners are unsupportive after disclosure, the impact on intimacy can be pretty bad. It can be devastating to the relationship. This just means that if after you share your private information with someone, if they don't really accept that information, then you might not be close with them anymore. And then just because you share your thoughts and feelings with someone doesn't mean that you have an intimate relationship. And then the last part is that not all disclosures boost intimacy.
How you doing? My topic is differences in disclosure. Personally, in my situation, I come from a place where I have a lot of cultures in my life. My mother is Hispanic and my dad is Black. So it's always been easy for me to connect with both races just because half of my family is one way and the other half is another. So it's always been easy for me to disclose myself to the two. Further along down the line, my dad ended up getting married to a white woman, so it kind of helped me learn how to disclose myself to somebody of that culture, as well as all the other cultures. Basically for me, it's easier to disclose myself to another African American male just because we go through the same things on a day-to-day basis. We have the similar experiences. Growing up is kind of the same, so it's always easier just because we have so much in common. While you can have something in common with somebody of a different race, just 9 times out of 10, you got way more than you do with somebody the same.
Hidden and revealed self basically focuses on a person's inner thoughts and their character flaws. There's 4 different quadrants in hidden and revealed self. The first one is the public area. The public area is the aspects of yourself that you and others are aware of. Quadrant 2 is the blind area. This is character flaws that don't mesh with your self-concept. Quadrant 3 is hidden area. This is parts of yourself that you are aware of, but the public does not see. Quadrant 4 is the unknown area. This is aspects of yourself that others aren't aware of, and neither is yourself. My favorite quadrant is hidden area. This relates to me because when I am alone, I am not confident, and my peers feel like that I am confident, but I believe that I'm not, and this is an area that I need to work on as a person.
Hey kids, do you have negative self-talk? Because 100% of people do, and you shouldn't. We all are our own worst critics, and we need to work better to improve ourselves. But sometimes, if we're just too destructive, it can create many problems and issues. We can have constructive criticism on ourselves, make ourselves do better, but in the end of the day, we are really down on ourselves when we're by ourselves a lot of the time, and we think we did worse on things than we normally did. In my life personally, I like to get down on myself. I get really worried about presentations and stuff, and I think I'm gonna do really bad in them before I even attempt to start doing them at all. I also think that I'm doing really bad in like everything, when honestly nothing is going that wrong at all. Everything's going pretty okay, and I just negatively think bad about myself all the time. If we work better for the 22-step day program like we did and like in class, we can work better to improve the mentality and boost ourselves up and boost our confidence up, and eventually become better versions of ourselves and improve on ourselves daily. Thank you. Have a great day.
As Bryce mentioned, the 21-day challenge, we did complete this in class, and I did this for one of my journals. I felt like doing this helped with my negative talk. My negative talk really was challenging each day because I woke up in bad moods and could tell that I wasn't confident in myself. By the middle of the challenge, I started to see results that I woke up with more positivity, happy energy. By the end of the challenge, I started to notice that I had no negative talk, and I really do like how we did this in class because it helped me and my peers. So I believe that this challenge is helpful and you will see results.
All right, so in the movie Shrek, they talk about the social penetration theory, which is the layers of the onion. So the most peripheral layer is whenever you talk about your age, your major, your hometown, your name. It's whenever you just first meet someone. So it's the outermost layer of this onion.
Hello, my name's Bryce.
My name's Jessica.
Hi, I can see you go to LSU. What's
Yes,
your
I
major?
do. I am a communication disorders major. What are you?
I'm psychology major, psychology and business.
Okay. How many years have you been going to LSU?
I'm gonna finish my 2nd year. What about you?
I'll be a senior. I graduate in May.
Ooh, that's cool. That's exciting.
Yes.
Second layer in the onion is the intermediate layer. That's whenever people have already met, they're becoming closer friends. Usually they talk about music interests, political beliefs, and personal interests.
What's up, bro? What kind of music you like?
Dude, I like Drake, I like The Weeknd, I like Childish Gambino.
Oh, for real? Yeah, I like Drake. I be in my feelings, bro.
Ooh, yeah, all
Crazy,
time.
crazy. What you do for fun?
I play board games and video games.
What video games you play?
I play either League or Overwatch.
Well, let's go play Overwatch, bro.
Let's go.
So the last layer of the onion is the central layer. It's when you talk about more personal things.
What's up? How you been doing?
Actually, not well.
Well, what's up?
My boyfriend just broke up with me. You know, John.
John.
No, I know. I've
Come
just
on,
been
let's
so
go
upset.
get some
I
ice
felt
cream,
so lonely.
and we
I
gonna
just
talk
don't know
about
what
it.
to do anymore. I got
It's
nothing.
alright.
I know. He shouldn't consume my life. I don't know what else to do.
Don't even worry about it. We're gonna get some ice cream. We're gonna talk about it. You're gonna feel better.
Okay, thanks for being such a great friend.
You already know. Anytime.
Sadly, we do not have the onion, but the fourth and final layer for the social penetration is the core layer. The core layer is when you are comfortable to exchange private information with the other person, but you can predict the actions and how the person feels.
Oh my god. Alright, so there are many different ways to competently disclose yourself. A couple are to know yourself and know your audience. That's the advice of Apollo. So if you know yourself, you're going to be able to disclose the information that you want to disclose, and then know your audience because you don't want to disclose something to an audience that you don't, want to disclose that personal information about yourself. You also don't want others, you don't want to force others to self-disclose like information about themselves if they're not like comfortable sharing those things with you. Another thing is to don't presume gender preferences. So you don't want to assume that a woman is going to like disclose some private information about herself just because women seem to be more emotional. You also want to be sensitive to cultural differences. So whenever people have different backgrounds, you're going to want to be more sensitive to certain things. And also, last tip in competently disclosing yourself is to go slowly. And you don't want to force anybody to disclose information that you think that they'll eventually tell you, but just they might not be ready to tell you right away.
All the things that we just talked to you are important because it teaches you boundaries. It also teaches you when and when not to disclose yourself, as well as advancing your relationships.
What happened?
It was raining and my hair got wet.
During the semester, we did a 21-day challenge. Is it 21 days?
It's really loud out here, and I have a kitty with me. Hi, kitty.